And welcome back. This is Sean, of course. If you're following me, thank you very much. If you're not, please do. Now, this is the loading screen. If you've made extra characters or toons, they'll show down in this panel here, and you can select which one you want to play. At the moment, we are doing a run through from beginning to end of every mission, and we're doing tutorials on how to do the mission and how to play the game. We're through most of the tutorials of how to actually play the game per se. So now we are moving forward to the first real mission, or the first at least missions that involve the modern era or where the game is set. Remember, we started on the original series, and now we have been brought up to date by finishing the Agents of Yesterday arc. So we're going to log in. Always love this screen. It shows your away team with your ship in the background. When you come back, you will be presented with a screen of things to do. But it's I normally just click out of there because everything is on your menus anyway. So here we are. We have, as I say, finished our Agents of Yesterday, and we have been brought forward by Daniels, time agent, to what we will call the present day, the timeline that Star Trek Online is based in. So we have got a reward from finishing our last story arc. And again, we are presented with a selection of officers. This one is engineering Ferengi. Again, we can look at the specs and see what works for us. We have a Trill science officer and a Tellarite tech officer. Now, if we look at the officers we have, we want a good spread. We'll see that we have two engineers there already, one science and one tech, and we're going to go for another tactical officer at this stage, purely to spread our bridge officers around the various careers. And there he is. He's called Zing. Well, that's easy to remember. And we get an option of whether we want him to join the ship or not. At the moment, we have a very small crew, so we're going to need him. There he is. We can change his name and his uniform if we want to. Now, he's coming with a more modern look uniform than we're wearing. Now, I'm going to leave him in that uniform for now because shortly or later on, we're going to change our old TOS uniform to a more modern uniform as well. So we'll just leave it as it is. We won't rename him. Of course, you can if you want to, remember. And here we go. We are now on a modern space station. Remember, before we were on a StarDock from the original series. There wasn't a lot to it. Here, if we look at our big map, there's a lot more going on. A lot more going on. Lots of areas to explore. We have the club at the top, which is where you're going to hang out with your mates, if you like, or you just want to chill and listen to some music in the background, leave your character logged on maybe. One of the things you do need to know is if you are logged on but inactive, say you just leave it on and you go out, it will log you out after about 1 hour. So if you're halfway through a mission and you suddenly need to go out, you may find if you are away from your computer for more than an hour that you've been logged out and you've lost your mission progress. So try and be aware of that. If you're thinking of just leaving your character logged on, don't be in the middle of a mission. We have the infirmary, sick bay, transporter, operations, the shipyard here. We're going to go and visit all of these areas in this video. Requisitions here, where you can get stuff for your away team and your missions. And the exchange here. The exchange is something we will deal with more at a later date, but we'll have a look at it and what it does. So we need to talk to this officer here.
Welcome, nerds. StarDock. Busy day on the holodeck, sir? I love dressing up for those historical holo novels, too. My Harry Mudd costume took first prize last year. That being said, you're scheduled for a meeting with the top brass, so you might want to update your uniform beforehand. The Admiral can be a stickler for that sort of detail, after all.
Now, he's given us a bit of stick, thinks we've been on the holodeck. He doesn't know we've come from the past, which is why we're wearing an old uniform. He's a funny guy. So look, we can follow through on this. This is actually rewards from the last mission of the last arc. I didn't pick them up last time because it would take me past this actual screen, and we needed to show you that we have to talk to this guy and what we need to do.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Now, look at this. We are now a Lieutenant Commander. So we have moved up a rank. That's pretty cool. Up the top left-hand corner here, it says Lieutenant Commander. We are now at level 10 already. If we click on this little button here, it'll bring up our skills tree. Now over here, notice we have a flashing green light that says purchase skills. So we could have clicked on that as well. So we have a space point and a ground point that we are going to spend. And again, we're just going to go straight across the top with these early points. So there's one on hull restoration, so we'll be a little bit stronger and more able to repair the hull if we get damage. And on the ground, well, we've started this tree. We may as well start the weapons efficiency, and it gives us a bonus in our weapons skill, and it's quite significant at this stage. It's 30% more damage and a plus 60 to our skill bonus. So as I say, go through and do these trees because they give you really big lifts or bonuses when you first started. So here is our mission. Welcome to StarDock.
You're scheduled for a meeting with the top brass, so you might want to update your uniform beforehand. The Admiral can be a stickler for that sort of detail, after all.
So here, follow the lighted path to the tailor. So the game's actually going to take us through this in the game's logical order. We could do it in our own, but then our mission tree wouldn't complete properly. So come out of here, we know what we have to do. And you see there's a nice light showing us where to go. Well, we learn the station. We could, of course, if we didn't have this light, go into our map, find a yellow circle, find where we are down here at the bottom, and work our route out ourselves. But let's follow this blue light. So yeah, I'm going to play the game, or at least with these demos and early games, at this kind of a level, so you get the full experience of what you're going to have when you play it yourself. Now, see, there is a lot of stuff going on, a lot more than at the original series StarDock. So again, take your time when you're in places to have a look around. It's really, really quite amazing what they've done in this world to recreate Star Trek. Okay, so uniform suppliers. We've been told we need to change our uniform, and we're going to go ahead and do that.
Welcome to my shop. That's a fine replica uniform you have there. Mid-23rd century, yes? My compliments to your replicator. Now, if you'd like to update to something from this century, have a look around and let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Hello. You can alter your uniform and look here.
Now, remember in an earlier tutorial, I took you guys through this screen. So let's do it. Let's do it again and refresh our memories. So remember, we have our toon or avatar on the right here. We can hold our mouse button down, spin them around if we want to. During the course of the first tuition, I took his hair off, changed his original uniform, and just made it slightly different to show you how to do that. So if you've got options here, you can actually click on the square to highlight it, which one you're going to change. Bottom right, modify. Depending on your system, this will either come up really quickly or take some time. Also, depending on the server you're on, of course. So we have some default uniforms here. Now, I'm going to have a lot more choices than you do originally because I've played the game for about 13 years now and amassed quite a collection of outfits, as you can see. So these are the basic uniforms are in this box. So, for instance, we can choose, let's say you had the Captain Picard outfits or that bundle, you bought it or you'd got it as a gift. You could just simply apply an outfit. Here we go. And he's already kitted up in the Generation style uniform. We could perhaps go back to the original series or the motion picture if we like and apply that. So it's very, very easy to quickly change your uniform. If you want to make it more individual, you can go down to the advanced screen and choose uniform on this screen here. This will allow you to do a bit of a mix and match if you like. You can choose from what type of uniform it's going to be. Are you going to be maybe bare-chested, a loose jacket or a tight jacket? Again, your options at the moment will be very different to mine, but you will have something in here. So let's say we're just going to go for a loose jacket. So that's the type, whether it's more baggy clothing or skin tight or whatever. Now underneath you have the upper, which is obviously your shirt or your jacket, and we can click here. Now anything that's got a tick in it, you already own. Anything that is simply just a gold coin, it tells you next to it how much it's going to cost you to buy. Now, this, as I said before, comes down to if you want to use real money in the game to make yourself a little bit different. And you can go ahead and do that. We've looked at how to get money on from the Zen store, if you like, where you can click on Buy Zen. Zen is Zen's your in-game real money, shall we say. To buy things like this, your actually in-game currency is energy credits, which you use to buy stuff on the exchange or from various vendors. So we can go through here, actually look at different jackets, outfits, and the more you play, the bigger your list will become. So here, look, we're not a captain yet, so we're still a lieutenant commander. So maybe we should go for lieutenant commander, but we're not actually in the Discovery universe, but we can use it if we want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose something more appropriate. So let's have a look what we have here. We could, I guess, go for next generation. So we'll pop on a next generation top. And here it is. Now on the right of this menu, you have some squares with colors in. These are the colors that you can make your uniform, and pretty much you can do anything you like. A lot of people in game want to be very hardcore and say this is the color we would have on this uniform for this rank, for this career. So for instance, we are an engineer, so we'd probably go in and make ourselves red. There you go. And you've got various shades. These will be a little bit of trial and error, because sometimes what we are seeing on the right side here isn't exactly what we see when we go back into the game. That lighting is a little bit off sometimes, but that'll do. So we got red there. We can then click on the middle icon, and that will also change part of the uniform. I can't see where that is at the moment. So we'll kind of leave that where it is, or make it the same as the one we just chose. Sometimes that'll change the color of the undershirt. In fact, that's what it should be doing. And sometimes it'll do nothing, as we can see. If it's a color you've already just used, it's up the top here, recent colors, so we can make sure we get exactly the same match. Now, here we can change the shoulder colors as well. I think we'll make it the same, so he's got a pretty much just the red jacket on, so we know he's engineer. Hands, if you want, you can click on the hands. You can have bare hands, gloves, different types. Again, depending on if you want to spend some money or not, you can have other things. If you're going to use or spend money on other outfits, for instance, this Jem'Hadar, you're best to buy the whole pack and not just little items from it. So we're going to leave bare hands. There we can have various wrist attachments, as you can see on his left arm there. If we put it on, here we go. We can see just down here he's actually wearing something. Again, it depends what you want to do. If you want to customize your character a little bit more, I don't particularly like that on him, so I'm going to take it off. Now, Emblem, you can sometimes change that. You'll notice he gets a badge on his arm here. Not all of these options are available all the time. So yeah, character customization, entirely up to you. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of things you can do. You can have your rank. You can choose anything you like, but you should really have what you are. So here we are, we're Lieutenant Commander. We'll pop that on. Now it should, up here, give us some pips or studs on our collar to show our rank. Now this came into use in next generation, so it's quite appropriate to use it there. There are various other things you can add if you so desire. You really wouldn't do that with that uniform, but hey, I've seen some strange things, and I've been to some strange places. So lower bottom. Now, if we're going for the next generation uniform, again, we can choose what sort of pants they are. You can have a skirt if you want to. Hey, it's a free universe. Otherwise, we will go in and go for something more traditional. So here you've got lower, and we are wearing next generation, so we will go back with our next generation pants. And we will either make them appropriate to our rank or uniform as such, or we could make them black. There we go. So this particular uniform, we've gone for a straight out engineering sort of look. Now our feet down the bottom, we can choose various types of shoes, boots, whatever. With this longer pants, you can't see them quite so much. So either. Again, we can change the colour. I'm not particularly keen on the red shoes, so let's make them black. And sometimes you get lots of different choices for stripes and toe caps and all sorts of stuff. So just quickly do that to show you how to use this menu in a little bit more detail than last time. I suppose you should really have some sort of a belt. And we'll just go for something quite plain at this stage. As we progress, we will get more adventurous in our uniform. Now, don't forget, on the right-hand side of this screen where your character is, you can change his look. You've got default looks here. Hey, look, we've got a bit of a Cisco look going on. I kind of like that. So you can change your eye colors up the top here, and on the right, you can change hair colors if he's wearing any hair. I'm going to leave him bald. I kind of like that look. Again, you can change your face color here. So you can choose a tone and look that you like, that suits your character or your real life. So here we go. If we wanted to do it in a more advanced way, of course, we've got the advanced menu down the bottom. We could click on head here and get lots more options. We looked at this before. We can give him some tattoos, change his eye types, eyebrows, all kinds of things. I'll leave you to play with that. There's no point sitting here doing a tutorial, going through every single option. It'll just end up being reasonably boring. So down the bottom on the right-hand side, you'll see if you've have to pay anything or not. And I'm assuming at the moment we are just going free to play, and you can play the whole game free to play with never spending a cent if you want to. So don't worry about people telling you things are money pits. It's a free game. You only spend money if you want to. So we still have to purchase even the zero cost. Click that purchase button. You'll see that our uniform here has changed. And this is what we have. Pretty cool. Now, we can do the same with our bridge officer. What we're going to do is we're going to save this outfit down here because it means we can immediately apply it to somebody else. It won't always work exactly the way we want it to, but on the whole it will do. Now, so we have bridge officers and they're all dressed differently. So let's go from left to right here and let's bring our officers back up to speed and modern times. And initially here, look, we've got 5. It'll take a little bit longer because we have all 5. Once you start, you've got them, these 5 sorted out. You can do them as you get a new crew member, do them one at a time. So it'll be a lot quicker. So we go into modify and we can actually do exactly the same here as we did to our own character, or we can click on load outfit. Now load outfit will load any of the outfits that we've saved previously. Now I've got a lot because I have made lots of outfits for my other toons, but you'll actually have just saved this outfit here. So you'll click on the outfit and click on load, and it will pop that outfit on your person or your crew member, and there you have them dressed like that. Now we just need to make sure that she is wearing the correct uniform for who she is. So obviously note whether they're a science officer, tech or engineer. But for now, so we'll purchase this one and we'll notice that Tazi is now in the correct uniform. I won't do all these guys while I'm live because it's just repeating what we've just done. So when we're happy, we can come out.
Now you're looking sharp.
Now, this is what you get a lot when you start. You get a lot of people who just spam. Join a fleet, join a fleet, join a fleet. You'll get hundreds of these. But don't. Turn it off. You'll join a fleet when you're ready and you will look, as we did in a tutorial, you can look through the fleet and social menus and choose one that's either local to you in the same country, speaks the same language, is online at times when you're online. Benefits to joining a fleet is you can buy fleet gear. You've got teammates to play with. But if you join a fleet, say around the other side of the world, and they log on when you're asleep, you're not actually going to benefit from being in that fleet in a team environment or to do missions with them. So also you may want to be in a fleet with people you know. So yeah, again, up to you. So we've done our tailor thing. We come out, and now as we look, we'll move him away a little bit. If we look at our avatar or our toon, he's in his new uniform. He's got his new Cisco look going on. Looks pretty cool. So where do we go next? Let's have a look. So we have done this. We can go into our journal, look at our progress. Here we go. Welcome to Facebook. Earth, space, dark. Now we've been to the tailor, we've got a tick, and we need to talk to Temporal Agent Philip Cray. So we need to find him. And we follow our highlighted path along. Shift to run. Oh my, where is he hiding? And here he is. So let's have a chat with him. He's actually going to look after us for a little while.
Welcome to the 25th century. We've been expecting you. Your new cover identity is in place, and Admiral Quinn's expecting you in the office behind me. Report to him for your orders. Remember, do not tell anyone about your status as a temporal agent. Your goal is to observe and correct, not to interfere.
Now, if you started the game already in this time period, you won't be a temporal agent. It makes no difference whatsoever. Basically, they're just saying, hey, you've just come from the 23rd century and that's it. You do get some extra missions by being a temporal agent, and if you have started at this time, you will be able to join the temporal agency at some stage. Now, on the right here, it says report to Admiral Quinn, as Philip has just told us. See, he's a mate now. Now, Admiral Quinn is now the guy who is going to give us the majority of our missions, and we'll need to report to him from time to time, either here or by communicating with him in various other ways.
I've recommended you for a command position on board a ship of the line. There are several fine ships available for an officer of your caliber. Head to the shipyard to select your new ship, then return to me for your assignment.
So cool, we can actually go and get our own ship now. And notice we've got a lot more missions here that we are going to do while we are on Earth StarDock. So we're going to go down to the shipyard. We won't collect all of these just now, but let's just pop down and have a little look-ski. If you notice, like this has been happening to me a little bit, it keeps putting on the targeting reticule on the screen. You can turn that on and off by pushing B. I never use it, but some people do. So that's just a B. Turn that off. It can be a bit annoying if you're just running around a space station. So to get from one side to the other, because the shipyard is actually on the other side, which is over here. See our yellow circle, and it says shipyard. We have to actually go around the back of this office here. And back to the other side. So we head down to the shipyard. Nice sign up here saying it's an anniversary. Yay! So you won't always see that. What I quite like is we'll just go and stand here for a second. If you look out the window there, there's a starship in the dock. It's quite cool. Have a look around. Very nice indeed. Now you see all these characters here, NPCs with icons above their head. They're people you can talk to and interact with. At the moment, we've been told to go and get a ship, so we will go down to find out who gives us our ships. So here you can see a couple of people here. One is manage ships and one is acquire ships. Now we need to acquire a ship. And as you can see, we just now completed the welcome to SpaceDock mission. So here is our ship vendor. And we can browse the ships. Remember, we looked at this in the first main tutorial. And now we need to get a ship that suits our career. For instance, we're a engineering officer. It's pretty pointless getting a science ship, but you can do. Probably the first ship people start off with is a good old Constitution class Enterprise type of ship. So I'm going to get that because it'll suit our gameplay at the moment and also make us go, yay, we are in an Enterprise type ship. If you go along the menus, of course, you can see all the stats down the left-hand side here. So here it tells us how many bridge officer stations we have. This one has 1 engineering, 2 tech, and 1 science. So again, depending on your crew, if you only had 1 tech officer, you're going to be missing out on being able to use one of those bridge stations because you won't have anyone to sit in it. But we've spread our load a little bit, and we do have 2 of these. Down the bottom it says how many weapons we can use, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and our base hull hit points. Now this is 19,500, sounds pretty good. When you get up to level 65, it'll actually be more likely in the hundreds of thousands. So, but again, the game modifies itself to the player, so you won't be coming up against ships that are that strong. You'll just be given enough of the challenge to make the game enjoyable. So we'll buy our ship. Are we sure? Yes, we are sure, ma'am. Now, Friesland sounds like we're going to McDonald's, so we're going to rename this ship. If you would like to see your progression of ships, remember our original ship was the Hawkmoon. So we can go Hawkmoon 2, so we know this is the second ship we've had. Or you can just give it a totally different name. As I said originally, try to avoid things like Voyager, Enterprise, Kirk. You'll see them all over the place. This is your life in game. Make yourself a little bit original. You can change your registration number. Wouldn't bother really. Click OK. Now we've got invalid white space there, so we can't actually use Hawkmoon space 2. We actually have to take that white space away. Okay, so because it wouldn't let me rename it there, we'll do it somewhere else. And we do that, that's because I put the white space in. We'll do that by going to this guy over here and managing our ships. Here we go. Now, hopefully I can now still rename it, as I haven't done it already. You can only do it once. It's not going to let me do that, I don't believe here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discharge this ship, and you have to type its name in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and buy it again. Now, in order to get rid of it so that the game knows you're really sure, you have to type in its name exactly as it was. Now, okay, so it's case sensitive, so capital, 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 F, R. I think that's all looks like capitals there, but let's have a look. So it's not lit up, so we haven't actually got that right. So we go back, try it all in capitals. I may have spelt it wrong. It's a bit embarrassing when the game won't let you do what you want. Oh, there we go. Needed a backspace. And that ship's gone. So we're going to go back and reacquire it. And now it's not going to let us do that because we've already had it once. Okay, guys, so how do we get around this? No, we don't. So unfortunately, we are going to be stuck with our original ship by the looks of it. Let me just see if I can do something about that. Not yet, not enough dilithium. Okay, so we'll come back to this a bit later. I'm not going to redo this whole video just so I can get a ship here. Let's see if we can actually... oh, look, okay, so I'm going to go for the science vessel here just so I can take you through the other screen that we need for this tutorial. So we'll actually, I can pick this up because I've had it before. Alrighty, so we were going to rename our ship, remember, no white spaces, guys. So we're going to go for Hawk Moon 2. Now you won't be able to do what I just did at the moment because you won't have purchased any other ships. This is coming from a different time when I purchased a ship that could be used over my whole account. So there we go, we've got the Hawkman 2. She's not the exact ship that we wanted, but for the purposes of this tutorial, that's what we're going to have to use. So over to manage ships. Now manage ships gives us the ship we are already using, or we can click on the next ship. Remember, we can expand these boxes as well if we need to. So what we're going to do is we've now got another ship, and it's a better ship. It comes equipped with weapons already. This is what comes when you buy it. If you've already got a ship and the weapons are better, you can actually choose Ready Starship, and it should swap out some weapons for you and put your best loadout, shall we say, onto your ship for you. So you don't have to drag everything off the old one and drag it onto the new one. You'll notice here there's some devices missing and consoles. So what we'll do is we'll have a look in our inventory and see if there's anything in here we can use. We can just click on the square here. Yes, we've got a universal console here that is on the Hawkman 2 already, so we can't equip that, it's already here. I'm actually going to drag that off because our lower level ship would not have that, but we do have our engineering from the other ship. We have our science console, and if we go back here, we see we never had a TAC one, so we've got nothing to carry over. So here we go. We've equipped our ship. We can look at its stats here. If we want to save the loadout, which is save this configuration, we can do. I showed you how to do that in a previous tutorial. We won't do it now. It's not particularly good in the scheme of things. It's okay for this level. Visuals, again, we can change the way our ship looks a little bit if we happen to own any gear that allows us to do that, which we do not. So when you get more ships, they'll be here in your dry dock. Depending if you're playing a high level of advanced or elite, some of your ships will need repairing from time to time. So There we go. Look, another fleet invite. You can turn these off. I'm going to turn them off after the next one, but I want to show you how annoying it is. So when you're in a fleet and somebody's hanging around StarDock, don't keep inviting them to a fleet. It's just really annoying, and people will end up hating you. So we've got our ship. We need to go back to Admiral Quinn. There are guys here we can talk to. This guy, if we are on a level where we need to repair our ship, we can do it here. We can talk to various other guys, which we're not going to do right now, because as our mission goes on, or we want to pick more missions up, we'll do that, but we don't at this moment. So we've got our ship. We're going back to talk to Admiral Quinn, who is round the other side of here, or rather the other side of here. Now you'll see characters running around in various places, in space stations, on planets. They're actual other players. Yay! So you're not alone in the universe. You can click on them and talk to them if you like, or just let them go about their day.
I see you chose a fine ship with a top-notch crew, one of Starfleet's best. I hope you're ready to get back out there. A situation has come to my attention, and I'd like you to look into it.
Oh, fantastic. So he's going to give us lots of missions. You can choose one at a time if you like, but the best thing to do is just pop them all up.
Commander Sarish Minna of Deep Space Nine has requested your assistance with a delicate matter involving Cardassia and Bajor.
So I'm not going to go through all the speeches and details of the missions for now, because when we come to do them, we'll get them as well. So just for now, we'll take all of these missions.
We have a diplomatic mission. The Alliance has agreed. Pick up Damar Khan. Starfleet Command.
Now there are lots and lots of missions. Now we just really need to do everything.
With the war over.
So pick them up. The reason for picking them up, I will
one of our classes.
Second.
We have a large number.
Right, these are kind of side missions. They're not necessarily part of your story arc. So when you go into your journal and in progress, all the ones we've picked up are here. They tell us where they are: Cardassia, Gamma, Klingon Front, wherever. Now we're going to end up in many of these places during our story arcs. So if we've got them ready to go, when we're in that place, we can knock these ones off at the same time. If we go to episodes, we can see we are next we're doing the Klingon War. So here we go. We've been to Earth StarDock. And our first mission here is diplomatic orders. So what we're going to do is we're going to hail this Admiral Quinn here.
This is a delicate diplomatic situation. Handle it quickly and decisively.
And he's, if we haven't already picked the mission up, he's going to explain a bit more. So what we need to do is we need to go to the site of the mission. When you've got transwarp skills, you can actually just click on this button here. In the old days, you had to beam up and take your ship there that way, but here we can just click on this button and it'll take us straight there. I'm not sure when you first start the game if you can transwarp straight away in that way, but I think you probably can. If not, you'll have to beam up to your ship and use your map to get there. So here we are. We are in the beta quadrant, which is where Earth is. We can look at our map. Our big map here shows that we have actually moved straight away from the Sol system to Vulcan. If you couldn't do it using that menu, which I think you can do now, it's been so long since I played at the low level, I can't remember if that's been introduced at that level or just because I've already been able to do it. But either, you'll end up at Vulcan. So we enter the system. So this is where the game really starts. These are your first, let's say, proper missions or your first real story arcs if you started the game by going straight into the current time stream. So Temet's telling us we need to
Greetings.
talk
Thank you for
to
agreeing to
Pila.
escort the ambassador to Pajem. Ambassador Sokath is currently attending a ritual to honor the end of the Kalrek holiday. He will be done soon, but the ambassador is hesitant to use transporter technology. His bias against the transporters is not logical, but I have come to accept it. I believe that Sokath would be much more comfortable traveling by shuttlecraft. I have received clearance for you to land near the ambassador's location. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Okay, so we've got our option to board the shuttle here. Now, when you change ships, you'll notice your bars down the bottom are possibly either empty or don't have the shortcuts on it that we put on the last ship. So what we're going to do before we actually go further into game is we're going to populate these holes here. Otherwise, if we come back up into space and there's a battle, we won't have any options here to use. So remember, here is all of our available skills to put in our skill tray. We need to unlock it. Now, we also have a lot more options here than squares, very likely, so we are going to give ourselves a couple of rows. We probably only need one or two, but just for now we use three, and we can get rid of one of those rows as necessary. Remember, we can drag stuff off to start from scratch, and what I do is I put my attacking things on the left-hand side and my defensive options on the right. Again, that's up to you. It works for me. So here we've got this first one about shield power. We don't need that because we can just click in the middle of the shields to do that. Here are our weapons or weapon options. They're down the bottom here. After this mission, and as soon as possible, we'll go back to StarDock and I'll change back to a Constitution type ship because that's really what we should be using at this level and on our character. As I say, this is just a stand-in ship for now. So drag your items down to where you want them. We don't need to drag our weapons down because they're already here. And again, you can reroute power to the left or the right or whatever. We don't need to. We can do those with these icons down the bottom around this circle here where the ship is. I'll just quickly drag these icons here. All right, just to basically show you how it works. These will lock the tray. These items here, options, are actually options that can be done by your bridge crew, and they already show here. But just a quick demonstration of how to use this bar. Right, so going down. Now, I'm not going to
Starfleet shuttlecraft. This is Vulcan Orbital Control.
I'm
You
not
are
going
cleared to
to
land at the requested
leave
coordinates.
every
Welcome to
single
Vulcan.
menu
Please
or
enjoy your stay.
box open for you to read, because you can do that in your own game when you're playing. Only I'll mention relevant information. So here we are on Vulcan, next to our shuttle. Pretty cool. And Tamet is telling us we need to go and see the ambassador Sokath. So let's do that. Now, where is he? On our little map, there's an arrow pointing up top left here. And also remember our bar at the top with our little icon here telling us in which direction we need to go. So if we put that in the middle, we should pretty much be going in a straight line to where he is. Open up the main map and yeah, right ahead. So utilize this little bar here. It'll make things a lot easier and quicker for you. So we'll have a little run along here. Have a look as we go. Vulcan is pretty cool. And up the hill we go. Whoops. And again, the icons above the heads telling us people we can speak to. And we need to talk to the right one, which is Sokath, who is here.
Welcome to Vulcan.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
I do have questions, but I'm not going to ask them all. So I'll ask the one that's relevant to the mission.
My business is my own. If you must know more, I require a meeting with the abbot. He will not use subspace communications. So if I am to receive his counsel, I need to meet with him directly.
So remember when you're playing the game, especially your first run through, actually do click on the options and get right into the game.
Do you have any questions?
So here we go. We'll do this.
Pajem is a small world near Andoria. It is sacred to our people. There have been Vulcans on Pajem for centuries. In 2152, the ancient buildings that housed our monastery were destroyed by the Andorians. It was a failing in our logic that led to conflict with the Andorians. We have corrected our error. After the Federation was founded, a group of Andorians, Vulcans, and humans rebuilt the monastery as a symbol of peaceful coexistence and cooperation. Since then, a group of monks has lived there. They study the ideals of StarDock. Do you have any questions?
Okay, so we spoke to him. We look at our mission menu on the right. We also need to talk to Pila, which is what we're going to do next.
Captain, I regret to inform you that we have come to an impasse in completing your mission. Allow me to explain. As you know, Pajem is sacred, and access to it is strictly prohibited. Ordinarily, this would not present any difficulty, but Savin, the leader of the order that maintains the monastery, has chosen this moment to illogically refuse to grant Ambassador Sokath permissions to meet with the abbot at Pajem. This is most abnormal. The ambassador has considered going to the council to request that they overrule Savin, but the process will take time that he simply does not have. If the ambassador is unable to complete his journey to Pajem now, he will have to delay it until after the trade conference at Corridan is complete. and that could take weeks. The ambassador, I'm afraid, has spent too much time off-world. I have seen it change him. His interactions with other species have grown easier over the years, but our own people have become more challenging for him to deal with. Perhaps you could speak to Savin. I know he has a great deal of respect for Starfleet, and you might have an easier time than he has in convincing him to grant the ambassador's request.
Okay, so here is the next part of our mission, is to find and speak to Savin. He's not far away.
Peace and long life. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
Now, we can go through all these options, and you should do, and listen to what he's saying. I'm not going to spoil every part of the game for you, so we'll just go down to the green one. And the green one is what takes us to the next part.
I will permit it if you will pledge to me, on your honor as a Starfleet officer, that you will protect Pajem from harm. Soketh says his reasons for wanting to speak to the abbot are private. I will accept that, but only if you are with him. I know I can trust Starfleet. Please, protect Pajem from any who would violate its sanctity.
Now, when you've been playing a long time, you'll end up with a little badge here. It means you've been playing for 400 days. So that's a year and a couple of months there, and you actually get a bit of a bonus. But you're a long way from there, so let's not worry about it. Back to Soketh.
Do you have any questions?
And again, the green ones are the important ones. Now we've got a choice to decide what we're going to say to him. Now he doesn't trust, or they don't really trust each other. Let's see why.
How should I know? He is a small man with small concerns. Thankfully, he has listened to reason, and our journey won't be delayed any longer. I am ready to leave now. Is the shuttle prepared for departure?
Okay, we managed to jig around a little bit, so this moved on, and we need to return to the shuttle. So sometimes it'll get stuck, move your character away and back, and sometimes even open a few menus just to give the game a little push. So we go back to the shuttle. Taking our guest with us. And if you can walk down pathways, do that, because if you go off a cliff because you think it's an easy way down, you'll most likely die or suffer some horrendous injuries. And you wouldn't do that in real life. Let's not do that in the game. We can run a lot, though, because we never get tired. Alrighty, so here we are at the shuttle. And we are going to take our guest where he needs to go.
Starfleet shuttlecraft, we have logged your flight trajectory, and you are cleared for departure. Live long and prosper. So we need to return to the bridge.
the game isn't being too helpful here. Ah, here we go. We've got flashing lights on this door. So it had to be the last one I looked at. Of course, it couldn't be any of the other three options, but there you go.
Your inventory has a replicator that will allow you to buy and sell.
Okay, so the next thing we have to do here is what, my friends, is what? Well, sometimes a game is not 100% clear on what it wants us to do. Let's see if we can get
This
it
is a delicate diplomatic situation. Handle it quickly and decisively.
to help us out here. We'll go back into the welcome system. There is obviously something here that is amiss, and not everything is clear all the time. Let's see what we can do. So it's telling us to leave the system, which we did. And it should really be telling us what we need to do next. So let's see if we can work that out. So we're going to move the ship away from Vulcan. See if that screen will disappear. We can minimize it here. Now we've still got a white circle here telling us it's part of the mission. Where do we need to go? Where do we need to go? Oh, look, down here. It's a little bit confusing when you do have a lot of missions in this bar. Diplomatic orders is the one we're doing. Go to the PJAM system. And here it is over here. And there is the planet we need to go to, right there. So sometimes not everything is neat and tidy and in front of you, and you have to actually have a look and try and work out what is going on. So in we go. So we have some Klingons here
This
to
is
take
Captain
out.
Attack to all Klingon vessels. Target their warp drive. There will be no escaping our vengeance this time.
Target's shield has failed.
He's been a bit slippery, so we'll just tractor beam him in and take him out that way. And bada boom. One go.
Cease your fire, Captain! Perhaps today is a day for words. My fellow captains were blinded by our vengeance toward the shapeshifter aboard your vessel. They have died with honor. But if I am to die this day, then I would prefer to regale the halls of Stovokor with the tale of that foul creature's death. Ha! So even the mighty Federation has been fooled by the beast. Your guest from Vulcan is not as he or she seems, Captain. They are an Undine. They put on a false face and try to control us, but we Klingons know better. We will hunt them down until the last of these honorless dogs dies screaming. Proof? Pah! Allow me to stick a blade in its belly while I look it in the eye while it dies. That should be proof enough, even for Starfleet. If you wish the honor of the kill yourself, then it is yours to have. So long as the Undine dies, I will meet my death with eyes wide open and victory in my heart. I await your decision. Close hailing frequencies. My patience is growing thin, Captain. If you lack the stomach to slay the beast aboard your vessel, then any Klingon here would gladly do it for you. I'd hate for you to stain that pretty Starfleet uniform with Undine blood. Then the beast is slain? Makka! Very good. Perhaps you've the heart of a warrior after all. Let me look upon our enemy, and tonight we will dine together as warriors and drink to the honored dead.
Captain, I take my meditations very seriously. Why have I been summoned to the bridge?
Alive? You're a fool, Captain! Strike now before it's too late! You want proof? Then lower your shields and allow me to beam over. Once the Undine's blood coats my blade, you'll see it for what it truly is. A Grint hound in Tog's clothing.
There's no need, Captain. The situation is not difficult to unravel. My concern lies in the logic of you entertaining this Klingon's meritless claim. A most illogical conclusion. Allow us to examine the facts, Captain. You have a crippled Klingon vessel, whose captain has made unsubstantiated claims that I am an Undine, a species that is known to both the Federation and the Klingon Empire as a considerable threat. Potentially, but only if a great many other factors were to be true. Is it not much more likely that the Klingons have, in the face of defeat, instead sought to exploit Starfleet's desire for peaceful resolutions to conflict in order to repair their vessel and renew their assault?
A true warrior strikes without mercy, Captain. I only hope to teach you this lesson personally before the Undine does. We may not be able to best your vessel, but a Klingon knows many roads to victory. The beast may have evaded my vengeance for now, but I can still ruin its plans here at Pajem.
A wise precaution. Though I admit I am eager to see my people safe, I will await word until the monastery is secured. And Captain, let not my journey here be for naught. A wise precaution. Though I admit I am eager to see my people safe, I will await word until the monastery is secured.
Okay, so is he Vulcan or is he Undine? We're going to find out. He does seem to have been a little bit illogical when we were talking to him on Vulcan, getting a little bit angry. So, who knows? So we have to go up to the monastery here. We know there are Klingons around. We know they're not particularly friendly to us at the moment, so keep your eyes out. And let's see what we can see. Our red dot here shows us there are some enemies here, which are no doubt Klingons, and there's one. So get him before he can get us. If someone is an enemy, don't hesitate. They're not going to change their mind. Again, very, very beautiful scenery here. Take your time, have a look around. How you doing? So, yeah, just there are things to find as well. Let's have a look what's in the box. And we've got some medicine here. We can use our scanner to see if there are any other things we can get. And yet there are 4 lots of crafting materials available here. So we'll pick those up as well. So it's always a good idea to use your scanner, have a look around. The blue beam tells us where it's going to be, and it's actually going to be probably up where we've got to go anyway. So we'll climb up this hill here. Just have a little double check. Yeah, it's going to be up the top here. So I'm going to carry on up, take these Klingons out. Now, where is our materials? Over here, so let's go and find that. And here we are, there is something glowing for us. If we hadn't used our scanner, we probably wouldn't have seen it. So in the crate, we have some more medical equipment. We can scan again. Now it tells us there's only, it still says 4, but it should actually go down and tell us there's only 3 now. So maybe that was just a crate we could pick up and wasn't something the scanner found. Let's have a look, see. I've got a feeling at the top of this stairs are some baddies because I can see them on our mini-map as well. Our crew is being quite efficient there in taking out the baddies for us. And here we are, we have some monks we can speak to. Can't always rest for too long. Always keep your eyes out and your wits about you. Now here's another crate. Let's see what we get in this one. Now it's giving us lots of shield charges and hypos and stuff, probably because we're going to need them when we get up this hill. Let's have a little look. We've still got some things to collect up here. So there's nothing really showing on our map. We know we have to keep going up the hill. If we go into our inventory, we can see the stuff we've picked up. Now, while it's a bit peaceful here, is a good time to actually bring your character screen up and add things that you're going to need, like devices and stuff like your shields and your hypos for your medicine. Again, make sure your crew has got things it can use. And we'll spread the love. Again, I don't worry about these too much myself at this level because I'm more capable than my crew is perhaps of not standing in direct fire. And onwards we go. If you double tap, you get a little forward roll there. Don't know why you'd want to do that, you might. Now here you notice the green words in the middle of the screen, new spawn point unlocked. That means if you get killed, this is where you're coming back to. You normally get one of those when there's a place of high activity where you'll have a chance that you will get killed, and it tells you in advance that this is a bit of a battle zone. Now here are the items we're trying to get on our scanner. You'll notice one over here. When it's something we can scan or pick up as a crafting material, it has this nice red graphic going on. When we scan stuff, don't forget we have to match the waveform by going up or down, left or right. And we got some Thoron particles there, so that's pretty cool. The main action is over here in that green circle. So there's going to be a lot of things going on here. So we'll put out our mortar, we'll back off a little bit, keep moving, let our crew deal with some of the baddies too. There we go. Now the Vulcans told us violence is illogical, which it may be, but if we didn't use violence, we would be dead. So there you go, Vulcans.
I have terrible news. Vulcan security forces have discovered the body of Ambassador Soketh. They have determined that he was killed by a phaser blast at short range. His remains were discovered in a stasis chamber hidden in a cavern beneath the Ambassador's residence. The Ambassador on your ship, the one that I have been working for, is an imposter.
There we go. So we now know he is Undine, and he's going to be pretty nasty.
You
so we need
to be very careful. This imposter was able to fool Soketh's closest associates for months. He is crafty and very patient. Now that he has been discovered, he will be dangerous.
dangerous. So we're going to need to track this man down, see if we can capture him or kill him or whatever we need to do. Here we go, locate and detain Sokath.
Such emotion on your face. I see now my deception has been exposed. Pity. Capturing the abbot so we could replace him as well would have been beneficial. But we are strong. We will prevail. You are weak, and the weak shall perish.
Oh my. He's changed. So let's get on him. Now, if we can get behind him or to the side of him or allow our crew to do that, we actually get bonus points from attacking from those sort of angles. He's disappeared on us, so we're going to beam up. Apparently there is a ship up there in space. Let's have a look. Up we go. Beam me up, Scotty. So we've got to fight off the Undine ship until reinforcements arrive, which means it's going to be bigger and stronger than us. So we'll just try and stay alive. Here we go, and it tells us it's 1 minute to stay alive for. So we'll get on our bikes a little bit. We know if we've got a countdown that there's no way we are going to beat this ship. So basically we just have to outmaneuver it. We can keep tagging it. Plasma bomb coming in. You've got to be pretty quick to catch those things and to shoot at them. Or you can use your tab button, of course, to aim at the next target along. We won't tractor him in. We actually want to be more away from him than close to him. We've got to hang on for another, 10 seconds here. Ow! So here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and in comes the ships to help us out. Now we've got a chance to defeat him with the aid of our fellow ships. I'll tractor beam him, keep him still while the other ships blast him. Now these icons down here tell us what parts of their ship we can aim at. I haven't discussed them yet because on our Constellation class ship I'm not sure if we would have that ability, and as I've said, we had an issue with getting that ship earlier on, so we are using a substitute ship here. So I'm only using its minimal capabilities, so we're not cheating. Yikes! See, we are being blown up here, so we need to do some repairs. We can't do that for a while because of the cool down period, so we just basically have to try not to get blown up until these come back. And here we go. We can do a little bit of repair there and some repair to our hull, and we're back up to 100%. Sometimes you have got to be a little bit evasive and repair your ship. If you keep attacking somebody who is beating you, the chances are your ship is going to be destroyed, and nobody wants that. See, there are other options I could use here, but we are not at that level, and we're not supposed to be in the ship. So we're not. I just love the graphics and the way these ships are built, how they operate, how the phases come from the right parts. It's just really, really well made. Okay, we'll track to him again, stop him getting away, let our reinforcements do as much damage as they can do. The reinforcements are bigger than we are. Uh-oh, left shield is failing, so we'll turn our ship around so that the good shield is pointing towards the enemy ship, and we get a bit of protection there. And again, she's taken a little while to kill off, but if you look at the yellow marks here, this is a level 4 ship. It's a very high level ship for us to take on at our current level, shall we say. This is why we've been given reinforcements as well, and also why we need to fly a little bit more cautiously. As I said, we're going to try and get through as many missions as we can before we die, and we've done quite a mistake. We haven't actually died as such. Even in the tutorials I did first one, because I was talking and teaching you how to use your icons, and that didn't allow me the appropriate time to use efficiently. So I'm giving myself a try on that one. And of course we had to die at the end of the Agents of Yesterday arc, because you can't get away from that. It's the only way to move forwards. Another accolade look for you badge and medal collectors.
This is Captain LaForge of the USS Challenger. Glad to see we made it here in time to lend you a hand. Perhaps you'll return the favor someday. LaForge out.
And there is Geordie. How you doing, Geordie? Good to see you. No visor. You've had your eyes fixed. We like that. And here we go. We can depart the system. Usually when you're departing a system, you have finished that particular episode. So let's find out. Now, that was quite a long one, because we did the introduction to StarDock.
The Ambassador was an Undine? I'm afraid their infiltration of the Federation goes much deeper than we realized. Who knows what kind of havoc they could create?
So that is the end of that particular mission. We can collect our mission rewards, choose which weapon we want, because you can only choose one of these two. Click collect, and we will get those things in our inventory. So that was the end of diplomatic orders. Our next mission will be stranded in space. I'm not clicking on the collect reward at the moment. It will jump us forwards, and we need to start at the beginning of the mission next time. So thank you for watching this particularly long one. We did basically two parts of a story there, or two missions in one go, because we had our introduction to StarDock, the new one. We looked at changing our uniform. We got a ship, albeit not the one we should have got. And we also just did this mission. So thank you for watching. I've been Sean. You've been watching. I hope. Please subscribe, of course, or follow, or whatever you wish to do. But whatever you do, have a wonderful day. This is Sean signing out.